Welcome to Outlaw Woodworking. Today I'm going to show you how to set up your airless paint sprayer. This is a Graco Magnum X5, and this is more of a do-it-yourselfer sprayer. Although you could do a lot of work with one of these. I have had these in the past, just to let you know, and I did pay for this myself. The last one I had a Graco that was a bigger one, but I didn't feel that I really needed that anymore, and I think this X5 will do the job just fine. It comes with a 20, let's see, I think a 20-foot hose. Let's see, 25, it comes with 25-foot hose. I'm gonna run a 50-footer on it so that I can just leave my stuff in the middle of this little house, and I'll be able to reach each room with a 50-footer. The only bad part about that is it takes a little more paint to run through a longer hose and also clean up and everything. But let's unbox this. I'll show you how easy it is to set up, and we'll get started. Now the only thing you really need, it's got this laminated setup thing, and it's a quick guide, and that's really all you need to get started. It looks like you have a telephone number. Now it comes already set up with the handle on the 25-footer. I'm gonna remove that, and I'm basically gonna set up to do the sealing first. So what I'm gonna do, I've got two different spray. This is a 40-incher, and then I also have a 20-incher. So I'm gonna put the 20-incher on top of this so that I can actually stand down here and spray that ceiling. But let me show you how easy it is to set up. They're super easy. They come mostly put together already. Here's your main paint feed, and then also your bleeder hose, or your primer hose. Yeah, they're pretty much ready to go. We just need to hook up our hose, and let me get a wrench, and we'll get this thing going. Okay, right off the bat, we'll get the hose hooked up first. And we're gonna take off this little red piece right here. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this thing, after I hook this up. Now, you don't need any Teflon tape or pipe dope or anything. You just want to put this on. It doesn't need to be super tight. You don't want to do it too tight where you break it, but you always want to back up your, back this one up. Actually, that way. And just a nice snug. So that's all it takes for that one. Now, because this came hooked up, we're going to have to disassemble this one. And these are really easy to get started, actually. Now, one thing about the Graco X5, it does come with a clean out fitting. So when we go to clean it out at the end of the day, I'll show you how that works. And it also comes with, if you're gonna store it for a long time, it's good to use this pump armor, and it shows you how to use this also. And we probably won't end up using this right now because we're not going to be storing it at this point right now. We're going to be using it for a few days. So I got the one end hooked up. Now I'm going to get this other end hooked up. Same thing, doesn't take any Teflon tape or pipe dope. You just want to snug it on there really good. It has a tapered fitting, and yeah, you just want to, you don't need it to be too tight to where it breaks, and you can always, if you see it leaking, you can always tighten it up. Now I'm gonna stretch this thing out, get it untangled, and then we will go ahead and assemble our large rod. And then we'll get it all ready to go, and I'll show you how easy. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do, take off this piece. We're gonna take our tip off. And we are going to attach. We're going to attach our other stuff from that. Make sure it's nice and clean. Now, one thing I want to say is the Graco, this X5 comes with one tip, but it's actually the right tip for spraying walls, walls and ceilings. So this comes with a 515 tip, and it's right here, 515, true 515, yeah, right there. And that's the right tip for me for doing these walls. Now I'm going to tighten this, not too tight. Now because I'm spraying the ceiling, you know, it's pretty far up there, and I really don't want to be spraying the ceiling on a ladder. So I'm actually going to run this 40-inch and this 20-inch for a total of 60 inches. And I should be able to just stand there and be about a foot away from the ceiling when I do the ceiling. So now we want to get our tip put back in here. Now the tip has the arrow, that's the spray, and then if you get a clog, you can twist it, and it has an unclog feature with this type, and that works actually pretty good. Now I'm going to start it off. I'm going to start it off not in the spray mode, because what I'm going to do is I'll show you how this setup works. We're going to basically prime it first. And then when we do and then we're going to prime the paint, and then we're going to test it in that bucket, not on the spray mode, but on the other mode. And right here, it has a great quick guide. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you got power, pressure, prime, spray. So setup, you need to get everything hooked up. Hook up your hose like I showed you. Hook up your engage trigger lock, ensure spray tip is properly inserted. Turn the pressure control knob to the lowest setting. So we'll go over here to the lowest setting. Start it. Make sure you got power. So we got no cord here, so we need to get the cord plugged in. Make sure we got power. Start up, turn power switch to off, and plug sprayer into grounded outlet. We're in grounded outlet. Now what we want to do Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually set this. I brought a little platform bucket to set it on because it's a little easier. Let me get that. Okay, separate drain tube, smaller from suction tube, larger. Place drain tube in waste pail. Submerge suction tube into water. Okay, so this is your large one is your suction tube. So we're going to want to have that in the water. See if that'll hold it down. Yeah, that'll work. And then we're going to have the other one in our waste bucket. So the smaller one's going to go right here in the waste bucket. And basically what we're trying to do is we're pumping water through this one, and we want to see it come out this way. So now the next thing we do is, so right here is your prime valve, and you want this to be up, in the up position right there. And then what you're going to do, allow fluid to flow up the suction tube and out of the drain for 30 to 60 seconds. And let's see, lift the prime spray valve to the prime position, which we did right here. Press the push prime button twice, and that's on the other side here. Okay, right here, you push this button twice. This is your prime button. 1, 2. Turn pressure control valve to start. Right here, start. Turn power switch on. Okay, that's it for that. Next up, startup. Okay, the next thing we're going to do after we've got it primed really good, let's see, let's make sure. Okay, the next step is we're going to go right into our paint room. Now we're going to leave this small one. What do you call this one? This is the separate drain tube. The smaller one's called separate drain tube. So you have a suction and a drain tube. Now we're going to take this out, put this water back in here, because this next one is going to be painted. So we're going to let that drain out. It's really easy to get these things set up. Actually, Graco is pretty easy to deal with. Okay. Now this is already shaken up, but if you had some older paint, you would want to stir it for pretty good time, and also you'd want to stir it, and then also you could even, if it's really old paint, you might want to filter it through a filter. But in my case, I don't really need to. It's brand new paint, and it's just been fully stirred. So you're going to want to submerge that. And what I like to do, to use this to keep that down, the handle from the bucket. So now what we're going to do, so if you go to your startup, submerge your suction tube into the paint, turn power switch on and watch for paint to come out the drain tube. Then you're going to want to tube into the paint also. Let's see if they say that. Submerge suction tube into paint, turn power switch on and watch paint to come out of the drain tube. Turn power switch off, rotate your tip to unclog position, disengage trigger lock, and point gun into waste peel. Okay, so we're going to do that first. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to send the paint through here. There's no adjustment on that, it's going to be the same. Waste a bunch of paint, but paint was coming out. Okay, next up we're gonna turn it to the unclog position, which I already have that set up at the unclog position. We're gonna flip our primer down to spray. Rotate spray tip to unclog position, disengage trigger lock, point gun into waste peel, pull and hold trigger. Lower prime spray valve to spray position and turn power switch on. When paint comes out of gun, release trigger, engage trigger lock, transfer drain tube to pail, and then you're ready to go. See, it's pretty, I mean, that's pretty easy to get going. But let's go ahead and we'll get that done. So we got the prime off now. We've got the spray tip on the unclogged position. Now this is a little awkward because this is so long. But we're gonna disengage. So we've got the trigger lock disengaged. Okay, we got paint coming out the tip. Now what we're going to want to do is engage the lock. Set that down. When paint comes out of gun, release trigger, engage trigger lock, transfer drain tube into paint. That's when this one goes into the paint. Transfer drain tube into paint and attach suction tube. Rotate. That's good. Have it there. Rotate spray tip back to spray position and ensure spray tip guard is tight. Okay, at this point you're ready to go. So we'll go ahead and do what you want to do. You want to do a good spray pattern. So you want to adjust your tip to your spray pattern, how you're comfortable spraying. And what I always do is I take my cabinet areas and I'll do a few test sprays on the cabinet area before I get started. So I'm going to go ahead and zip up the suit and adjust this tip, and then we are going to start painting. Let's get started. Okay, one thing I didn't mention is protective. Now, obviously this video is for entertainment purposes only, but you should always think about your eyes and your breathing. Especially, like right now, this whole house is closed up because all the windows are taped. That's why it's a little dark in here. But I always use respirators, and I also have goggles. I've got a couple different styles of respirator. I've got this one right here. And then I've also got this one right here. I'm actually going to clean this one right now and use this one. And that's what we're going to use to get started. Yeah, that seems like it's working pretty good. The spray is about right. You can adjust it a little more or a little less. I might adjust the pressure just a little bit more. And I'm gonna get some more light in here. It's kind of early in the morning and I don't have a lot of light, so I think I'm gonna set up a light in here for where I work, but I think we're ready to start on the ceiling. So yeah, that's how to set up a Magnum X5. They're really easy to set up. And I'm gonna start painting this whole ceiling right now. And then when I'm done, I will show you how to clean it out. It's real easy. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, once you have your fresh water, kind of drain out your paint a little bit. Then what you're going to do, actually, let's see. I'm going to clean it in this dirty water first. Now what I like to use is a little wire brush. And basically get the tip all clean first. Nice thing about water-based paint, it comes off pretty easy. Tips are pretty expensive, so if you take care of them, they'll last a long time. Now what you want to do is you want to run your spray tip, run it until you're getting fresh, clean water out of it. Now I ran it for a long time in this dirty water, kind of just getting most of the paint out of it. And then I basically switched it to some clean water. And once I got a lot of good fresh water going through, I go ahead and disconnect my gun. Then I kind of go through and clean these tools up a little bit. Now what I like to do is I like to run another, so I'm going to prime, I'm actually going to prime it. I'm going to get another bucket and I'm going to prime it with fresh paint or fresh water. But you got to have your primer up. Hit the switch twice. Put it on low. Okay, this water that it's still pretty dirty, so what I'm going to do, she's almost cleaned up. I'm going to go get fresh, clean water and then do it again. Okay, here I got my last fresh water, so I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm basically going to prime this. Until the water's nice and clean. Okay, and that's all there is to it. So the hose, everything's cleaned out, ready for the next time. I'm going to close up this paint and call it a day. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you next time. Later.
There he goes, it's a working man. He's trying to make a living any way he can. And he'll break his back for $1 or $2. Oh, there ain't no shame in what he do.